Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just watched for the first time the Boondock Saints 2 All Saints Day. This came out in 2009, so 10 years, I believe, after the original film. It's directed by Troy Duffy, and the plot is we see the brothers who they went away to, is it Ireland? With their father. They've been like out there, beards and just barely surviving, it seems. Former shells of themselves because they don't do their killings and their and going after criminals like you sort of seem like you were setting up at the end of the first movie, but I guess because they never got around to doing a sequel, we just had to have that much time pass, really. And then you see, though, back in the States, that somebody is setting up the brothers to make it look like they're going around killing innocent people, priests and whatnot. So the brothers, they almost perk up at this because they have to go back and not only figure out who's doing this, but kind of sort of clear their name, too. Now, what I thought of the Boondock Saints 2 All Saints Day was, it was fine. It was fine. I did not like it as much as the first film, and even the first film I have my issues with. But this movie, it just felt like, well, maybe the cult audience that the first movie had were clamoring for a sequel. Not like it was a whole lot of people, I'm sure, but it was enough for them to do this, right? And Norman Reedus as Murphy and Sean Patrick Flannery as Connor. I like them as these characters. I like the banter that they have back and forth. They do feel like brothers when they make fun of each other. There's one scene where Norman Reedus throws out the idea that maybe they should dye their hair to change their look. And he says maybe a little brighter on the blonder side. And Connor gives him so much shit. He even calls him a fag. I mean, he says things that you definitely can't say nowadays, or it'd be a whole fucking canceled thing. But again, I liked how they were, busting each other's balls. It wasn't overbearing, and it wasn't like they always fought. It was enough for me to buy their dynamic. We do add a third person though to the group. They end up meeting Romeo, who was played by Clifton Collins Jr. He's a guy who at the beginning they kind of established as like a dangerous, tough dude, but then once he's paired with them, he's kind of the bitch, or he's kind of the guy that they always make fun of and mess with. They don't even give him a real gun, or they give him a little, it looks like that noisy cricket gun from Men in Black, and they're just constantly messing with him. And so I didn't really know if I should take him serious, or if I should just think he's sort of the guy that they're making fun of. And that's that. Judd Nelson, remember that name? Yeah, probably not. But he plays a villain. I originally wrote him in my notes as the main villain, but not so much, really. There's a whole lot more going on other than just him. I want to just mention Judd Nelson, though, because he had a couple of lines that made me laugh. Him treating his men like shit, which isn't anything new, but still, there's a couple lines in there where he was just being a complete prick and an asshole, and so I found that amusing. Julie Benz plays a special agent who is assigned to come in on this case and decide and figure out if this is the brothers doing it. And I really liked her in this role. I'm used to seeing Julie Benz not be so... She's more of the love interest or the damsel, maybe. Or, she has a very sweet sounding voice, and she comes off as very warm in everything that I've seen her in, but especially in Dexter as Rita. But seeing her here, she's opposite. She's proactive, she's kind of a badass, she's willing to get down and dirty, and you see that she's not as by the book and as professional as I think you would expect. And so I like that twist on her character. I liked even the dynamic that she had with the other 3 detectives who were in the previous film. They're fine, those 3 guys. Like, they're there. I'm sure the true fans like them. Whatever. But the whole time I couldn't help, because it seemed like Julie Benz's character was there to replace or kind of fill in the shoes of the William Dafoe character. And I love the William Dafoe character. He was the best part for me of that first film. So his absence was felt. It was noticeable. I was the whole time thinking, man, if William Dafoe turned down this role, because I feel like he'd do anything, right? I mean, there must have been something he didn't like about the script or something. I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. And just as I was still thinking that, I mean, it's been out long enough for me to say that he does show up in the very, very end, the last scene. And I thought, oh man, so they brought him back, but it was just for this last scene? Maybe he was busy, maybe he was doing something, and so he only had a day to shoot. And so they did what they did, but I was craving more Dafoe. I did want to see him as a part of the team. Where they left off, I think we could have done some really cool stuff. Who knows? It felt like they were trying to set up a 3rd film. Clearly, though, it's been over 10 years and it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it will. Who knows? Who knows? Overall, I thought the movie was fine. It was okay. It had okay action. I honestly felt like it wasn't as violent as the first movie was. Maybe for some people that's good. I kind of liked the violence from the first movie, and so that wasn't as there as well. The father does have his own side plot going on with, I mean, you know, it's there. So it was fine. It was fine. Boondock Saints 2, it was fine. I wasn't over the moon, though. Both movies, I'm not insanely crazy over it, even though they're Boston. I should probably love it even more. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of Boondock Saints 2, All Saints Day. Do you like it more than I do? Am I being too harsh? Are you guys saying, dude, like, you're from the East Coast. How are you not loving this movie more? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Heat in my vein like vernacular. Cook up the beat with a spatula. Y'all are not ready for action. I'm smoking these rappers and feeling spectacular. Making a killing like massacre. Watch out, I'm whipping my wrist. Right on my city, been pissed, but I show them love. I'm not the one that's at risk. My homie told me that when people rise up against you, it's a sign of your destiny real. Fake ones been hating cause they know that one day you're making it. Jealousy's all they can feel. Plugging the phone, drift